Welcome back. Today I would like to talk to you about a concept that confuses and concerns a lot of fellow facilitators. And that's the difference between conflict and dysfunction. I want to talk to you about what the difference is, why you should care as a facilitator, and how do you recognize when a conversation actually turns from conflict to dysfunction. So the first thing, let's define some terms. In my mind, conflict is different points of view. This can be based on different data, values, or beliefs. And it can be minor or fairly major. Conflict is actually a good thing for us as a facilitator, because without conflict, they probably wouldn't need our services. And in fact, if there were no differences of opinion or values or beliefs, why would they need us to bring them together to find common ground? Dysfunction, on the other hand, can be where that conflict goes out of control. Or, actually, if there isn't enough conflict. But dysfunction can get in the way of individuals coming together and having a true dialogue. It can become personal. It become damaging to the team and in our role. So as a facilitator, you should embrace conflict and always be on the lookout for dysfunction. So how do you tell? As a facilitator, I will often pay more attention to the shape of the conversation than the content itself. By that I mean, as I listen to a team discuss an issue, I'll watch to see who is providing input. And if the conversation moves from person to person, and if it's bouncing around the room, more like a pinball, I usually consider that a good sign, independent of how emotionally charged it may be. However, if the conversation turns from one of a pinball to ping pong, and then just a couple of people get involved, then I'm going to begin to ask myself as a facilitator, has this made the turn from conflict to dysfunction? At that point, I will also look around the room to see how other participants are reacting. If they are still engaged with positive affirmations, head nods and the like, I'll often let it go. However, if I see signs that participants are either physically checking out or they're shaking their heads, other signs of just displeasure, then I will often consider that this may have in fact turned into a dysfunctional discussion and not just a conflict discussion. In the next videos, I'll actually share with you what do you do as a facilitator when that has turned. But for right now, I hope this was a helpful discussion about the difference between the two. It's an important concept, and it's one as a facilitator I believe you should be very, very tuned into. Thank you.